6:48, welcome back to the Valley. Today we'll check out this video. A plane had to make an emergency landing in the middle of a New York neighborhood. The pilot was sent to the hospital with some serious injuries. His plane went down on a street in Long Island, New York, just after takeoff yesterday. Officials say that the pilot lost power on the plane and was trying to get back to the airport when his plane crashed in that neighborhood.
Hi again, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. 11 minutes before 7, and we're starting our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. Seatbelts saved 2 young boys from injury when the pickup they were in rolled several times on I-29 north of Fargo.
Yeah, it all happened yesterday just south of Buxton in Trail County. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the driver of the pickup, 44-year-old Steve Ballantyne of Emerado, lost control as he was passing a semi on a bridge. The trailer he was towing then hit the semi, broke away from the pickup, and the pickup hit the ditch and rolled over several times.
Ballantyne and a passenger, 44-year-old Jared Carpenter of Emerado, were taken to All True in Grand Forks. A 4- and 7-year-old in Ballantyne's vehicle and the semi-driver were not hurt. 2 people are in jail in connection with a stabbing in North Fargo. The victim was heard around 3:30 yesterday morning at an apartment building in the 1900 block of Dakota Drive North.
Now, police say that the victim was alert as he was taken to the hospital. Officers later arrested 36-year-old Donald Poole of Davenport, North Dakota for aggravated assault. They also arrested 27-year-old Aaron Housey of Fargo for possession of meth with intent to deliver. Taking a look at our election 2016 coverage this morning, the 2016 presidential contenders will be pressing hard this week as they try to make their cases to voters ahead of New York's critical primary.
With the possibility of a contested Republican convention looming, polls show Donald Trump expanding his lead over rivals Ted Cruz and John Kasich in the Empire State. After winning Wyoming's caucuses this weekend, Democrat Bernie Sanders is shifting his focus away from Hillary Clinton's qualifications and back to the issues.
6:51 now. Time to get a look at weather and traffic on the ones on this Monday morning. And we start with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good morning. We are trying to stay warm on this Monday. Temperatures in the 20s, but they feel even colder than that when you factor in the wind once again today. It's a breezy one. To start off this work week, temperatures are going to rise into the upper 30s, but that's as warm as we will get. Notice we have a beautiful sunrise in progress here, but the camera's shaking a bit. We're going to see this wind sticking around with us through the day. Winds in the 20s, gusting into the 30s this morning, and we'll see some 20s throughout the daytime hours as well. Overnight, we saw some scattered snow showers pass through, and that coated some roadways and grassy surfaces. So waking up to seeing a fresh coating of white in a couple of patchy areas. And in addition to that, temperatures are on the chilly side too, so very much like a winter morning here this morning. 19 degrees in Devil's Lake, 23 in Grand Forks, it's 24 in Fargo, and 23 in Detroit Lakes to start off your Monday. And on top of that, this wind, it's still sticking around. We've got wind speeds into the 20s, gusting into that near 30-mile-per-hour range, and we may see it get into the 30s once again for later today. Off to the west, it's not as bad, but with temperatures as low as they are, any wind does have an impact, and it feels like it's in the single digits in a good portion of the northern and eastern part of our viewing area today. Even out west, too, Valley City has a wind chill of 8 degrees. It feels like it's 9 right now in Grand Forks and 10 in Fargo, and the coldest spot, Langdon, feels like it's only 1 degree above 0. So a morning to act like it's in the middle of winter. You want to put on that winter coat. And if you're going to be outside, of course, you want all those winter weather accessories too. You'll want to put those away pretty quickly here, though, because we have some good changes coming up in the forecast. Tuesday, we warm up about 10 degrees. We'll see a chance, though, for some rain. It's not the ideal day, but it gets better as we work through the work week. We've got Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, temperatures back into the 60s, so warming up in a hurry. And by Thursday, the 70s return. Let's check in now with Al for an update on traffic.
Well, we see the speedometer's off in this vehicle. There's an awful lot of people driving awfully fast out here this morning. I've been doing right around 60, maybe 62 at times on the Metro Interstate Loop. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting passed by just about everything but the road stripes. It's busy out here this morning as well, particularly on westbound I-94. Eastbound I-94, not quite so much. Road surface is dry. Not seeing any evidence of that snow that we got overnight sticking around here, though, like we did here. There were some issues on the Detroit Lakes, or over in the Detroit Lakes area. Interstate 95 or 29 traffic, rather, is pretty brisk as well. Busy morning. Drive carefully today. Allied Valley Today traffic.
6:53, and speaking of traffic, we have a couple of road projects that are starting this week in Fargo that we want to give you a heads up about. The first one starts today. 45th Street, going to be down to one lane in each direction between Main and 3rd Avenue North. It's all part of a project that is connecting Fargo's water to West Fargo. The project and the lane closures are expected to last for about 2 weeks.
And starting tomorrow, the intersection of Broadway and 32nd Avenue North will also be closed. This one is supposed to last about a month. Closure is part of a project that's replacing utilities along Broadway. Comedian Ralphie May is scheduled to perform at the Fargo Theater tomorrow, and protesters are getting ready.
His show in Bemidji was canceled after audio of May making a joke about Native Americans was posted online. Now some people are calling for the same thing to happen with May's show in Fargo.
One of the things that often is said to us as American Indian people is, well, get over it. You know, get over what happened historically. But the thing is we have to deal with those policies of 100 years ago. And Ralphie Mays, what he's saying is actually the attitudes of 100 years ago.
May tweeted that he's looking forward to meeting with the Fargo Native American Commission. He's also apologized on YouTube, saying the joke that was posted is several years old and was taken out of context. It was a tough goodbye for some local families yesterday as the 461st Engineering Company left for Kuwait.
156 members of the U.S. Army Reserve Unit are deploying for a base maintenance mission overseas. The soldiers come from communities in North Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. Their mission is set to last for the next year. Fargo police are trying to figure out what a man was doing so close to some railroad tracks in downtown Fargo over the weekend that he got hit by a passing train.
He was heard around 2 a.m. Sunday, and police say he was either sitting on or near the tracks by Robert Street and 6th Avenue North. The victim is in the hospital recovering from injuries, but police are not releasing the man's name. A 6-year-old West Fargo boy has a love for going fast in a go-kart. Blake Bjornda started go-kart racing at the age of 3.
His dad says that his passion and determination just keeps him at it. Check out his skills right there. In fact, they've gotten so good over the years that he often competes against older kids and still wins. Now, if your children would like to have interest in getting involved in go-karting, the Red River Kart Club in West Fargo offers a variety of free events throughout the summer. Good for him.
How
the
cute
racing
is
look
he? Does.
right there. Probably see him in NASCAR a few years down the road. Well, there were some high fives, plenty of pats on the back and fist bumps, and probably a few cheering screams over the weekend, and there'll be more of it going on in Grand Forks for days to come. The UND Fightin' Hawks men's hockey team brought home the national title at the Frozen Four over the weekend, beating Quinnipiac 5-1 Saturday night down in Tampa, Florida.
UND Athletics is hosting a special event tonight to celebrate the championship. It's at 7 at the Ralph Engelstad Arena.
History was in full swing during the final round of the Masters. 3 players hit a hole-in-one on the 16th hole. Now, Shane Lowry and Davis Love III were the first, but this is the one that everyone is still talking about. Louis Oosthuizen with one of the craziest shots you'll ever see, bouncing his ball off JB Holmes. JB's misses, Louis right into the hole. The bank shot. It's
Nice.
the first time in Masters history that there have been 3 holes in one in the same round. Pretty good there.
Exciting. I give you a hard time. I feel like watching golf, but that's exciting. I guess I need to.
It was such a
zip
crazy shot. Yeah.
It can be exciting. Were they doing more than golf clapping, I bet, when all of that was happening?
That was,
you can
yell
yell
and
it.
hoot
Okay.
and holler there. Yeah.
Good stuff. It may not be quite time to put away the big winter coats, especially today since it's so cold, but other spring cleaning can be done now around your home.
And you got to get ready for 70s on Friday, so at
Yes.
least find the flip-flops. The Valley Today's Christy Larson is joining us live with Miss Simplicity this morning, talking about some of the ways you can get organized. Hi, Christy.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, that's right. You know, we've talked about it so many times, and Melissa, you can speak to it. Start small and don't even worry about how you're throwing things away, too, is something that you even told me.
Well, you just can't feel guilty about expired food that you forgot to use. Just be very mindful when you do the grocery shopping, and that's why you want to have the things organized in your fridge, freezer, and pantry so that when you go grocery shopping, you know exactly where it's going to go when you come home. And even, I mean, we can organize our freezer even, and I have bins in here so that I know that this is where my frozen fruits are. These are where my vegetables are at. My baking items go here, the meats go there, so that I know in my mind when I go to the grocery store what I have in my house and what I need to purchase.
And organizing your freezer would be a good thing, too, because in a couple weeks, Kyle and Lisa, we are going to be doing some freezer meal preps that you can throw on the grill. So why not get your house organized so that you really can enjoy all your time this summer without feeling too cluttered and messy?
Yep, easy things to do that make I'd feel good looking in my deep
Bins
freeze
and
like
lazy Susans. You just got to love them.
Key items there. Thank you, Christy. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, according to a new study, using what at home or work will increase your heart rate and stress level?
The answer, the dreaded slow internet connection.
Makes sense.
Isn't that's the worst?
We have no
Why
patience
isn't it
for
loading
We have
now?
no patience for
No
that.
patience whatsoever. I'm running out of patience for this forecast. I will say that.
Right.
Not shooting the messenger.
I just got back. I'm trying to make things better here. We're going to be better, especially by Wednesday and into the rest of the work week.
That looks
Improvement
good.
on the way.
Yeah.
Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. More local news and weather right here in just 25 minutes.
Have a great Monday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning.